Hi, my name is Dr. Josh, and more than likely you're receiving this link and seeing this video because a friend shared this link with you because they are just super excited about what they have their hands on. So I want to take this opportunity just to take a handful of minutes and kind of give you that 30,000 foot view of exactly what your friend is so excited about. So here's kind of the lowdown on how it affected my life. I'll give you a little bit of my story first. So I actually started in pharmacy school, but it only took a couple years of internships before realizing I cannot stand behind a counter for the rest of my life. So I decided that I wanted to help people in another way. I decided to go to chiropractic school, and after 3.5 years, finished chiropractic school and actually was basically going to buy out this practice in Yorkville, Illinois. That was the whole point. So I went into this practice, loved practicing, loved seeing patients, was making a real difference in people's lives every single day that I was seeing patients. But what I did soon realize is that I did not have the flexibility of the time that I really wanted. Over the course of that year, there were some twists and turns, and just to be brief on this, I actually had a hobby that became much more than a hobby during that time, and I actually got sponsored into professional poker. I left practice because I didn't kind of want to be chained to one specific thing, and I also just wanted to kind of pursue that adventure. Go do something different, be a little bit different than the rest of the world that's pretty much trading their time for money. I can tell you though, with those two different types of basically career paths, I ended up not being able to really get what I wanted to as a whole out of either one of them. So when I was practicing as a chiropractor, loved seeing patients, was really making a difference in people's lives, was getting paid pretty well to do so, but at the same time, I had to be there. If the business was going to run, I had to be there because without me, then patients weren't getting seen and money wasn't going to be flowing in. So I had to make a living. And so I basically was kind of rooted or chained to that practice. When we talk about poker, it was very different. You know, I had complete flexibility. The sky was the limit on how much I could make. I could play any time of day, had a lot of flexibility in what I was doing. However, the whole reason I got into becoming a chiropractor was actually to help people. So while I loved the strategy of poker and was doing very well with it, actually made a final table even at the World Series of Poker, something was missing because life isn't just about making money. It's about helping other people. It's about paying things forward. So I knew that that wasn't exactly right either. And it was about that time that I was introduced to kind of this concept that I'm going to run through with you today on how you can actually have both time and money at the same time. And so you're not going to learn this stuff in school because school doesn't teach you how to do this. Most of the time you're being taught either to go work for someone else where you're trading time for money, or maybe to go start your own business, become self-employed. But there you're really kind of, again, tied down. And if that business is going to function, it's going to take all your effort in order to do it. But there is another option. So let me hop on over to the whiteboard here real quick and I'll run you through exactly how this works. So as I referenced before, there are a few different ways to make money, but actually we only hear about a handful of them in schools because we're supposed to, go to school, get good grades, go get a good job. You kind of know how that story goes. But there are multiple different ways that you can make money and set yourself free at the same time. I'm going to go over a couple of those options and you see kind of how this fills in for you and kind of what you're interested in. I'm going to draw out Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant here for you. So we got 4 different quadrants. Over here we've got the E quadrant, and we've got the S quadrant, we've got the B quadrant, and we've got the I quadrant. So in the E quadrant, that stands for employee. That means that you're working for someone else, whether that be hourly or whether you be getting a salary. Either way, doesn't really matter. You're basically trading your time for money. The only way that you can make more money is really by working more hours or trading more time. Now the S quadrant, that is self-employed. So more than likely, I'll use my situation as a chiropractor here first. So as a chiropractor, I could either work in someone else's office and the person who owned the business would make some of the money that I was bringing in as a chiropractor seeing patients, or by being good at what I did, I could say, I'm not going to pay that anymore. I'm going to go start my own place and I'm going to be self-employed. However, when you're self-employed, all the responsibilities are on you. You can't take a break. There's no vacations. All of that stuff comes along with self-employed, even though you can probably make a little bit more money. So on this left-hand side here, the thing is, this is 90% of the people and only 10% of the dollars. So you can see that really this isn't the side that you want to be on if you want to set yourself free and actually have time and money. This side is completely different. I'll tell you kind of this brief little parable about what this looks like in comparing the two sides. So let's start over here on the left. So say there's a freshwater source about 2 miles from a village. Now, every day the people need to get water, so the people that are either employed or self-employed, what they need to do, they need to actually walk their buckets over, get the water, bring it back to the village. Go get more water, bring it back to the village, literally carrying buckets. The self-employed person, probably going to hire a handful of people, give them some benefits maybe of some sort, but they're going to have a team of people that's going to go to the water, they're going to bring it back, and that person who set up the business is going to make a little bit of money on the side. However, there is a better way to do this where someone can actually be smart about the process and they're going to make money basically for their ideas. Now we're going to be talking about the right-hand side of the quadrant, and that's where this second person fits in when they decide to think about this carrying buckets issue a little bit differently. So say somebody, instead of carrying the buckets every day, they actually invested some time, invested some money, and created a system, which is what this B side is all about. That B quadrant is all about systems. They went and they bought some shovels. They invested the time in digging the trench, digging the trench, digging the trench all the way back to the village, then going and laying some pipe in there, laying some pipe, connecting the dots, putting the whole system together, adding a meter and adding a faucet when they got back to the village. And now what happens is every time someone wants some water, they just turn on the faucet, the meter runs, and the person who set up that system gets paid because of the time they invested at the beginning in setting up the system. So that's what we're talking about here. On the right-hand side of this quadrant, we actually only have 10% of the people, but we have 90% of the money. So this is obviously a little bit better side to be on. Now, when we talk about the I quadrant, that's the investor quadrant where you're really just having your money make more money. So unless you've got a lot of money sitting in the bank and you're just collecting interest, or you're investing in other companies, all that stuff, we're just going to cross this off. And we're actually going to cross off this side too, because if you're listening to this, you're looking for a way to stop trading your time for money. So that's what I'm looking to tell you about here more, is a little bit more about the B quadrant. Building a system that basically is creating the income, and that system is by working with people. So this company called HB Naturals, or Heart and Body Naturals, which we talked about a little bit. I actually have another video that talks all about the products and the difference it's made for me and other people, but that's in a separate video. What I really want to tell you about here, though, about HB Naturals is a little bit about the company. So HB Naturals, I'm just going to call it HBN, was started a little over 4 years ago. Zero debt. And this company is off and running. Literally, if you're looking to set up a company or to be involved with something in this type of a world where you're literally working with systems, you want timing is super important. You want a zero debt situation. You want them to be looking out for the people who are helping spread the word of building the system. You also want an aggressive pay plan. That means that not only is the company doing well for moving these products, but they really are incentivizing the situation for the people who are spreading the word through this word of mouth advertising. You also want in-demand products. And if you saw that product video, you can tell that the CBD, the Healing Trilogy, these things that are making a real difference in people's lives by getting rid of chronic inflammation, helping people heal from the inside out. The products are very respectable, have high integrity within them, and they're really making a difference for people. Absolutely phenomenal products. You also want a company that has a ton of leaders in it. You want people, and working with this team, like whoever showed you this video, and the team that we're working with has people that are climbing to the top, making tens of thousands per month at this point. They're sharing their knowledge with us, those of us who are also building the business. And as we climb the ranks and we help each other, we're literally all helping each other in the process. The leadership piece, and again, building the system piece, all of these things are already incorporated. So HB Naturals, again, only 4 years old, zero debt. Literally, not only are we growing fast, but we're having better months and better months and better months. So we not only hit record-breaking months this last year, but we hit new record-breaking months over and over and over because we have in-demand products. And not only do we pay people out for doing this job of kind of connecting the dots, literally sharing videos like this and just helping people get these products, but we also pay immediately. This isn't something you get paid at the end of the month. When someone buys a product and they're a part of your organization, you get paid instantly. And that's a big deal for people because, especially nowadays, people are looking for something that they can dig into. They can make a real immediate difference in their lives right away. They don't have to go out and job hunt. They don't have to basically wait till the end of the month to get paid or see kind of how things work out. If someone wants to hustle and really get things going, not only can they get paid immediately, but we also have the leaders and the training for them to dig in and go as fast as they want. So if you're interested in learning more about the details, how all the specifics actually work out when it comes to compensation, I can tell you that there's no ceiling here. The sky's the limit, and really it's merit based. It doesn't matter when you got in. It's not like a pyramid type of thing where if you get in first, then you're going to make the most money. It's not about that at all. It's about who's out there doing the work, creating these systems, helping put people into these situations where they can also succeed, and then mentoring them along the path. Like you're going to see, we have tons of infrastructure, tons of leaders who are creating calls, tools, different things that you can utilize to help you succeed. All the pieces are in place. So if you want more information, specifics on exactly how this works, get back to the person who shared this video with you and start looking getting out of this 90% and getting into this B quadrant where the sky's the limit. And if you feel like you're worth more than you're being paid at your job, which I can almost guarantee you are, because job stands for just over broke, they're going to pay you just enough to keep you around there, but not really what you're worth, then you need to at least dig into something like this. Maybe it's on the side at the beginning, and maybe you want to fire your boss. Build this to the point where you're making more money with this than you are with your regular job, and then tell your boss to go away and that you've got a better answer. So get back to the person who shared this video with you. And if you're interested in HB Naturals and this all makes sense for you, then let me be the first one to say, welcome to the team. Congratulations.